Hello, my name is Mike with MikesCarpentryPlus on this beautiful sunny afternoon in early April, Southwest Indiana. And I want to show you how to start a wood splitter up. And it's got an 8.5 horse Briggs on it, and it's about 18 years old. So this is the way I do it. There's if you've got a newer engine that starts easier, you know, you can just put your choke on and maybe it just fires right up. But this one doesn't work like that, and if you got an older engine, then maybe this will work good for you. I want to start off real quick with how this log splitter is set up. Got a board here showing the underneath side of the log splitter. Then there's a pulley under the engine, and there's a pulley under the hydraulic pump, and then there's a belt that goes around it. There's another pulley that's down, controlled by a lever on the bottom side, and when that pulley is in then against that belt, then it tightens the belt up and connects the engine to the hydraulic pump, and that way you've got actually, you know, hydraulics working. But the reason why they did that was to be able to disconnect the engine for startup. So what you need to do is there's a lever right there in the bottom of the log splitter, and you pull that out, and then that disconnects the engine with the hydraulic pump. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how to get ready to start this thing up real quick, and I'll adjust the camera, and then we'll go to it. Okay, the first thing you do, pull that lever out. And I rigged up a little strap here that holds that lever over and engage so it doesn't slide in, because once you start the engine, and if you don't have this strap on there, it'll vibrate and shake in, and then it'll engage before you want it to. Probably you want the engine to warm up a little bit first, but number one, you check your oil. Oil looks good. There's your gas. I already checked it earlier. It's about half full, so it's okay. Next thing you want to do is once a year you want to check your hydraulic fluid level. And the tank's back here, and there's a fill cap. You just take the fill cap off, stick a clean stick or a rod or anything, stick it in there and see where your oil level is. And you want to make sure you keep plenty of hydraulic oil in there so it stays cooler while it's running. But this is how I do it. And I don't have I ordered a new air filter, so I don't have one in right now, but it's on its way. Take your air filter box off. I'm going to put, I've got the throttle up a little bit off of idle, and I'm going to spray a little bit of starting fluid down into the carburetor intake there. I'm going to put 2 squirts in, and it should start on the second pull, and I'm going to be ready to squirt a little bit more to keep it running. And I forgot to tell you, if you've got a fuel shutoff, you want to turn it on. So the fuel shutoff's underneath the fuel tank, and anyway, now it's on. So here we go. And after it gets running on its own, you want to let it idle run a little above idle for let's say 5 minutes, just to warm it up. Especially if it's really cold out, you want to make sure you do that. I don't care if it's your truck or your car or your backhoe or whatever it is. You want to fire the thing up and let it warm up first before you put it to work. And also, once I get it fired up, I'll let it run for about 30 seconds, and then I'll engage this lever down here and engage the hydraulic pump to the engine. That way the hydraulic oil is also going to circulate and get warmed up. You just don't want to run something when it's cold. Just let it ease into it a little bit, give it a little bit of time to warm up. And it's especially important if it's really cold out. It's not 60 degrees right now, so you don't need a lot of warm-up time, but if it's cold out, you might want to let it run idle, a little over idle for about 10 minutes. Anyway, here we go. I forgot to mention that if you have a key start, like this is broken, so I just bypassed it. So it's hot all the time, and to shut it off, I just need to touch the magneto wire to ground. Anyway, that's it for startup. I'm going to go ahead and get the backhoe out here, and the next part I'll show you how to split some wood. This is Mike's Carpentry Plus, and I'm Mike. And if you have animals, cats and dogs, please have them spayed in or neutered. And if you're wanting to get a cat or dog, please go to your local animal shelter and rescue one or two. They'd really appreciate it. So I'll see you in a little bit in the next video for Mike's Carpentry Plus, and it'll be splitting some wood. Bye.